Dear Libra soul, this is not just a message, it's the message. A powerful turning point is about to enter your life, and if you've been sensing that something monumental is approaching, you're absolutely right. This reading was meant to find you. Today's message carries the kind of energy that shakes timelines, unlocks hidden doors, and rewrites everything you thought was set in stone. And if you're still here, it means you've been called to receive, to awaken, and to rise. Let me ask you something from the heart. Have you been feeling like the universe is whispering your name, but you just don't know what it wants to tell you yet? As if something sacred is circling closer, but hasn't quite revealed its face? That's because it hasn't until now. The moment you pressed play, the divine timing activated. You didn't arrive here by chance. You arrived because this message was written into your soul's contract long before today. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where each reading is more than a forecast, it's a mirror for your becoming. I'm honored to guide you through this moment, not as someone telling your future, but as someone gently reminding you that you have the power to shape it. This isn't just about what's coming. It's about who you're becoming. The truth is, you've been through delays that made you question everything. Doors didn't open. Messages didn't come. Love seemed like a memory, and clarity felt out of reach. But what you couldn't see was that heaven was protecting you while preparing the stage. God often hides the next chapter when your soul still needs time to grow into the role you were destined to play. And Libra, you're not who you were 6 months ago. You've outgrown the patterns that once kept you small. The world may not have noticed yet, but the divine has. And the moment you accepted your silence instead of begging to be seen, your energy became magnetic. That's why this message has reached you now. Because you're ready not for just another reading, but for revelation. Let's take a moment, just you and me, to breathe into this sacred pause together. You are not here alone. You are surrounded by a celestial design that's finally unfolding in your favor. And as we open this reading, I want you to know, your life is not random. Your pain was not meaningless. And what's ahead is not small. Scripture says, "What no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no human mind has conceived, the things God has prepared for those who love Him." You, Libra, are one of those souls. Now, before we dive into the deeper revelations of this powerful reading, I want to take a moment to thank you from the deepest part of my heart. Your presence here means everything. Every like, every comment, every share, every subscription is a thread of light that strengthens the sanctuary we're building here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. You are part of this unfolding, and your energy makes this space sacred. So I invite you to stay until the very end of today's message, because what the universe is revealing to you is breathtaking, personal, and utterly life-changing. And now, I ask you this: what brought you here today, Libra? What was the pull that made you click? Let me know in the comments below, and if you feel the truth of this energy already stirring in your spirit, type the words, "I receive this divine message with an open heart." Let's begin. Sometimes, what feels like delay is actually divine choreography. Libra, you may have thought things were standing still, that your efforts weren't leading anywhere, that doors you've knocked on have remained firmly shut. But in truth, the universe was not saying no, it was saying not yet. And that timing, while difficult to trust, was sacred. You see, when the stars don't rush, neither should you. We are in a potent window for your sign, astrologically speaking, the influence of Jupiter's trine and the rising full moon in your own sign are activating deeper messages meant to reach you now, and only now. What's coming through isn't casual, it's charged with expansion, purpose, and spiritual maturity. That kind of frequency cannot be rushed. It had to wait for you to become who you are right now. And who you are, Libra, is no longer the version of you that begged for answers or chased unavailable things. You've outgrown that. You've been learning patience, not the kind that's passive, but the kind that is spiritually intelligent. The kind of patience that recognizes when something isn't aligned and chooses not to force it. This season is about alignment over ambition. It's about recognizing that you are being positioned for something larger than your own logic could plan. From a symbolic point of view, the tarot echoes this theme. The reverse tower suggests that while an upheaval may have already occurred or is quietly shifting in the background, it's not here to destroy, but to clear space. The star reminds you that hope isn't a feeling, it's a direction. It's a compass of faith, pointing you back to your inner truth. And Page of Swords? That's your mind waking up. It's your curiosity returning. It's your soul whispering, pay attention, this matters. Now more than ever, you're being asked to sit still and notice the subtle movements around you. Not everything comes as a thunderclap. Some messages arrive gently, like a change in the wind, or a softening in your spirit. And in those quiet shifts, clarity is born. You don't need to do more right now. You need to see more clearly. And clarity will come the moment you stop demanding the outcome and start honoring the unfolding. This is where gentle spiritual practice becomes powerful. Take 5 minutes each morning, yes, even in the chaos, to simply sit with yourself. You don't need to control your thoughts. Just become aware. Let your soul have room to speak before the world rushes in. Some call this meditation. Others call it prayer. Either way, it's a sacred pause, and in that space, everything recalibrates. And if you're someone who juggles a busy life, full of responsibility and noise, then I gently offer this: God is not absent from your schedule. He meets you in the quiet breath between tasks. You don't need an hour to hear from Him. You just need a willing heart. The truth is, the miracles you've been waiting for don't require more effort, they require more presence. One way to ground this energy practically is to take out a journal, any notebook will do, and write down 3 things you truly believe you are worthy of. Not what you hope for vaguely, but what you know, deep down, your soul was made to receive. It could be love that sees you, a financial breakthrough, or simply the peace that stays even when life gets noisy. Write it as a declaration, not a wish. When you name what you're ready to receive, you become a magnet for it. And I assure you, what's coming for you, Libra, is already on its way. All that's asked of you is to stay present long enough to recognize it when it arrives. Stay open. Stay anchored. Stay expectant. Not every connection is meant to last a lifetime, but some are meant to last beyond time. Libra, what you felt lingering in your heart may not be a memory, but a frequency that's still alive. There are energies we outgrow, lessons we complete, but there are also bonds that evolve in silence. Maybe you've sensed it, an echo that refuses to fade, a presence that keeps returning when you're alone with your thoughts. This isn't just nostalgia. It's recognition. A soul-level awareness that someone, somewhere, still holds the vibration of your name in their chest. What we often call unfinished business is sometimes just love on pause. The truth is, not every heart is ready to meet itself in another person. Sometimes the timing isn't wrong, it's just sacredly incomplete. The Two of Cups in your reading speaks volumes. It doesn't shout. It hums softly, reconciliation, reflection, resonance. Whether this connection is romantic, spiritual, or something you haven't yet fully defined, there's a mirror here, one that still reflects your essence, even across distance, silence, or separation. You may wonder, if this bond is real, why did it break? Why the silence? Why the detour? But growth often hides in the places where love temporarily disappears. The one you're connected to may have walked away not because they stopped feeling, but because they didn't know how to feel in the presence of something that real. You didn't scare them. Their own unhealed spaces did. And now, something's shifting. Just as you're stepping into clarity and personal power, they are awakening to a sense of truth they can no longer avoid. They may not know what to say yet. They may not even be sure what they're seeking. But energy doesn't lie. And what's been imprinted on the soul doesn't vanish just because life got complicated. Sometimes it takes a breakdown for someone to realize what they nearly lost. And sometimes, it takes your silence to help them hear what they've been avoiding. I want to gently remind you, it is not your job to go searching. Your work is to remain lit from within. Don't dim your heart just because someone hasn't found their way back yet. The right people don't need to be chased, they'll feel the warmth of your light and return when they're ready to meet you in truth. Until then, protect your glow. Honor your growth. Love doesn't disappear when you let go. It just becomes spacious enough for something stronger to emerge. This is where grace meets clarity. In moments like these, I often return to quiet reflection, simple acts that anchor me in presence. A walk at sunrise. A whispered affirmation. A few lines in a journal asking, what am I still carrying that no longer feels like love? These are the spaces where healing takes root, not through force, but through gentleness. You don't need to decide today whether this connection will rekindle or close for good. All you need to do is trust what you feel. And if there's still a pulse, still a quiet knowing, then that's enough to honor, even in silence. The miracle may not be in a reunion. It may simply be in the recognition that love never truly leaves, it just changes shape. So let me ask you something quietly but clearly. Have you felt someone reaching for you lately, even if only through thought or memory? If this message resonates in the spaces you don't usually speak about, comment below and let me know. Just type, I still feel the connection. Sometimes, claiming the energy is the very thing that sets it free or invites it home. When clarity begins to surface, it rarely arrives with noise, it arrives with precision. And Libra, what you are stepping into right now is not chaos. It's calibration. Things that once felt foggy or distorted are now beginning to realign. Truth doesn't shout, but it never hides for long. Even the most carefully buried secrets eventually rise to the surface, not to punish but to purify. That's the energy you're navigating. What's been obscured will soon be undeniable, and what's been manipulated will now meet the mirror of cosmic balance. In astrology, this cycle aligns with the movement of Saturn, the planet of karmic reckoning, brushing against your house of clarity and confrontation. In tarot, it's echoed by the appearance of the Justice card, supported by the Ace of Swords and Judgment, a powerful triad that signals not only truth, but the liberation that truth makes possible. You are not here to expose or attack, but to stand firm in your own light and let it reveal what's real. It's important to understand that justice isn't about revenge. It's about restoration. It's not just about proving who was wrong, it's about remembering who you are when no one is watching. When you choose honesty over illusion, peace over approval, and clarity over comfort, you become a vessel of quiet power. And that kind of light, it unsettles those who have built their lives on shadows. The ones who tried to manipulate your perception, or underestimated your insight, will soon have to face the radiance they once tried to dim. But you don't have to fight them. All you have to do is stay aligned. Because light always exposes what the dark can't hold. One of the most gentle yet transformative things you can do in this season is to release old pain with intention. Try writing a letter of forgiveness, not for them to read, but for you to feel. Write what you wish you could say without fear, then bless it with silence. You don't need a reply. You need release. Burn it, bury it, or fold it into your journal. Just let it live somewhere outside of your body. Let it leave. You can also shift your physical environment to match the energetic clarity that's rising. Start small. Clean out a drawer. Let go of objects tied to memories that no longer reflect your present. Open a window while you do it. Let light into spaces that haven't seen sunlight in too long. Healing isn't always a big breakthrough. Sometimes it's the simple decision to make room for what feels clean, intentional, and honest. And if you're wondering how to support this process energetically, lean into colors that echo purity and discernment. This week, I recommend surrounding yourself with soft whites, emerald greens, and gentle lavender stones that remind your nervous system that clarity is safe, and that truth doesn't have to hurt to heal. Before we move forward, I want to ask you something. Are you ready for truth to stand on its own? Are you ready for your light to reveal what's been hidden? If your answer is yes, comment below and say, "Light is my weapon." Not because you want to fight, but because you're done hiding. Because you're ready to lead your own story, from a place of peace, power, and deep inner knowing. There's a moment in every journey when something inside of you quietly shifts, and the version of you who once begged for clarity or validation simply no longer needs to. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. But it's real. Libra, you've arrived at that place. You're not reacting to life anymore, you're responding from a place of deeper knowing. You've crossed an invisible threshold. The lessons that once broke your heart have become the very soil where your strength now grows. Where you once kept quiet out of fear of loss, now you choose silence out of respect for your peace. Where you once tried to explain your light, now you simply allow it to speak for itself. And this, right here, is what it means to evolve. Not in a way that demands attention, but in a way that commands respect. Because nothing is more powerful than someone who knows their worth and no longer needs the world to confirm it. From an energetic lens, this phase of your life is a solar rebirth. The cosmos have watched you shed your old skin, and now, like the rising sun, your energy is returning stronger, clearer, and beautifully unshakable. You are no longer chasing alignment, you're becoming it. That subtle shift changes everything. Others may sense it in the way you walk into a room. In the quiet assurance in your voice. In the way you no longer over-explain your choices. You don't need to. You've reclaimed your center, and now, you radiate from it. But let's be honest. Embodying your light isn't always easy. Especially in a world that often profits from our insecurities. So this is where the work becomes deeply intentional. Each morning, I invite you to stand in front of the mirror not to look for flaws, but to meet your own reflection. Look yourself in the eyes and say, I am the light I've been looking for. Say it until your nervous system softens. Say it until your mind catches up with what your soul already knows. You are not missing anything. You are simply remembering. If you're someone who prays or reflects through quiet intention, try whispering a simple phrase in the morning as you begin your day. Help me protect my light today, no matter what the world throws my way. Not as a shield of defense, but as a compass of clarity. Because the brighter you shine, the more shadows you may illuminate not just in others, but in yourself. That's part of the journey. And you're ready for it. Your inner light is not a performance. It's not a role. It's the most honest part of you that's always been there, waiting to take the lead. When you let it guide you, your life naturally begins to reflect its warmth. Opportunities align. People shift. And the chaos outside starts to match the calm you've cultivated within. Remember, this is not about perfection, it's about presence. When you show up as who you are, without needing to shrink or stretch to fit, the universe responds in kind. The law of attraction doesn't begin with wishful thinking, it begins with energetic congruence. And right now, Libra, your energy is finally catching up with your intention. So if you're feeling that quiet fire inside, that steady, radiant pull to step forward as your truest self, I encourage you to honor it. Share it. Live it. And if this moment resonates deeply with you, let me know in the comments below by writing, I am the light now. Because claiming it isn't arrogance, it's alignment. And when you embrace that truth, everything else begins to respond. Sometimes, when we finally begin to honor our light, the world responds with an invitation. Libra, that invitation is now unfolding before you in the form of opportunity, material, energetic, and deeply rooted in the truth of your worth. What's coming your way isn't a coincidence or luck, it's a direct reflection of the frequency you've been nurturing within. This isn't about overnight success or instant gratification. It's about resonance, you attracting what finally matches your value. The cards aligned for you speak clearly. The Ten of Pentacles suggests long-term abundance, not just for you but for generations to come. This is legacy energy. A turning point that doesn't just benefit the present moment, but helps rewrite the story of your future. The King of Wands shows up as your inner visionary, the part of you that is ready to lead, to take bold aligned action, and to move with confidence into new arenas. And with the wheel of fortune turning in your favor, we're reminded that timing is shifting, cycles are closing, and new doors are quietly swinging open. But here's the truth, those doors require you to walk through them. They won't open for the version of you that still doubts, shrinks, or delays. They open when you trust that your dreams were not random. They were whispered into your spirit because you were meant to realize them. And that realization starts with clarity. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is take a few moments to write down your next 3-month goals. Not vague wishes but intentional, specific, soul-rooted objectives. Ask yourself, what am I truly ready to receive? What am I willing to prepare for? Because receiving isn't passive, it's an active agreement with life. It says, I believe I'm ready, and here's how I'm showing up for it. In your daily rhythm, even small shifts can open massive flow. Consider dedicating just 10 minutes each morning to gentle movement, stretching, walking, breathing with intention. These practices aren't about fitness theory, about energy. When your body feels safe and activated, it sends signals to your nervous system that you are available to receive, available to lead, and ready to handle more. Abundance doesn't flow to tension. It flows to calm confidence. This is also the time to explore or deepen a new skill, something that expands your capacity to serve or sustain your growth. Whether it's learning how to manage your finances better, understanding simple investment principles, or even strengthening your communication skills, these actions become energetic declarations. They say, I am preparing my life to match the abundance I expect to enter it. And if at any point, doubt creeps in, and it might, I want you to return to one phrase: I open myself to receive prosperity. I am worthy. Repeat it not just with hope, but with certainty. Let it move through your body. Let it become the new baseline of how you relate to success. You don't have to chase what's meant for you. You just need to be clear enough to recognize it and steady enough to keep it when it arrives. So I'll ask you gently, do you truly believe that wealth, success, and aligned opportunity are coming toward you? And if even a small part of you whispers, yes, then anchor it now by commenting below, I allow abundance to find me. Because declaring your readiness isn't just a message to the world, it's a permission slip to your own soul. If you've made it here with me, Libra, then know this wasn't just a reading, it was a mirror. A mirror reflecting the version of you who's rising from beneath layers of doubt, disappointment, and delay. And if you truly take a moment to feel into everything we've explored together, yes, the unexpected message, the soul connection that never broke, the light of truth piercing through illusion, the rising strength in your voice, and the financial path beginning to unfold, then you'll realize this isn't about predicting your future. This is about activating it. And it starts with one choice. A simple, sacred, powerful choice. The decision to believe that you are not waiting for life to change, you are here to change your life. No one writes your destiny for you. No timeline is fixed unless you agree to it. And the truth is, you have far more authority over your path than you've been led to believe. The question now becomes, are you ready to use it? What would shift for you if you truly started trusting your own energy more than other people's opinions? What would open up if you began showing up as the person you say you want to become before the evidence appears, before the applause, before the certainty? Can you move from vision, instead of validation? That's where real magic happens. The opportunities waiting for you on the other side of clarity aren't about more, in the traditional sense of theory, about alignment. About feeling whole enough to stop chasing and start choosing. About moving from the center of your truth, not the edges of someone else's expectations. And as someone who walks with you in this space, I'm not here to tell you that it'll always be easy. But I am here to tell you, it's worth it. You are worth it. Your dreams are not too big. Your timing is not too late. And your light is not too much. In fact, it's exactly what this world needs. So take everything you've received here, every insight, every emotion, every pause that made you feel seen, and bring it into action. Even the smallest shift you make in response to this message begins to alter your trajectory. One brave choice today can open doors for the next 10 years of your life. If something in this reading awakened a truth in you, even just a whisper, Let me know in the comments. Write, I am ready to step into the brightest chapter of my life. Because when you speak it, you claim it. And when you claim it, the universe responds. Before we part for now, I want to thank you genuinely for being here. For receiving, for feeling, for supporting this growing space. Every like, every comment, every share, every subscription. It's not just support for this channel, it's a sacred thread connecting this global circle of awakened souls. You are part of it now. This is Zodiac Whisper Tarot, and together, we're not just watching the stars. We're becoming the light that guides others home. If this reading spoke to your spirit, stay close. More is coming. More truth. More healing. More you. And remember, Libra, you're not here to repeat your past. You're here to rewrite your future.